Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Bandits body class. This one again is going to be based around strength training with a personal training style vibe to it. What we're going to do today is 6 exercises again, but we're going to be doing them in pairs and repeating the sets as we go through those pairs. This session has also been designed as a 4Q session by Institute of Motion and the study I've done through them. So what that means is we're going to be looking at a loaded linear exercise and a loaded movement exercise, which has more of a 3D component to it. Our warm-up today is going to be unloaded linear and unloaded movement. So let's get going. So with the unloaded linear warm-up, we're going to work on the front of the body and then the back of the body. We're going to take a forwards bend and allow the arms to rotate in and come back behind us. So we feel opening through the whole of the back of the body, back of the legs, hips, low back, and as the arms lift, it comes into the upper back. Then we're going to take a step backwards, reach the arms forwards and up. So we get a nice opening through the front of the body. Then we come back. This might be with an exhale. Really allow the back to open. Inhale, come back, high lunge. Exhale, back again. Inhale, coming back, pushing the feet away from you. Coming in, coming back. Keep the shoulders stacked over the hips and allow the belly to travel forwards. Bending, coming up, and again, coming up. Great. The next one we're going to do, we're going to take a step out on a diagonal line here. One leg bent, one straight. We're going to reach up with the same side arm and reach forwards with the other. So it brings us into a twist. Here, come back to center, other side. Here. So really drive again from your shoulder blades. So with this warm up, we want to feel opening into the inner thigh, side waist, into the rib cage. Stepping reach. And this is called a type 1 spine position. Keep your feet, both of them, fully planted on the floor. So really push with especially this trail foot. We're then going to come into the back 2 corners and take a deep curtsy and reach your arm away. Stepping wide, curtsy, wide, curtsy. And this is going to get right into the back of the hip, elongating along this long line here. Reaching, come back, reaching, reaching, exhale each time you go in. If you want to stop and have a little bounce around in this position, you absolutely can. Okay, so we're going to move on with the program. The first exercise we're going to do is a linear motion. We're going to do walking lunges with a push pattern. So we'll take a low lunge and we'll be pushing here with the opposite arm. So we're going to be doing that, traveling along. Then we're going to swap the band because I'm actually changing up resistance with this session and come into our movement exercise where we're going to be low, take a quarter step, lift the arm up, and then we're going to move in an asterisk pattern here with the resistance. Okay, so we should have on ankle straps and leg straps for this one. Let's get kitted out. So I've got my blue straps on because the push pattern is quite a strong pattern and I want to challenge my body. We're going to work nice and slowly here as well. I'm actually just going to take a rear lunge initially. So low lunge here, pushing out against the band on the legs, drive forwards, come in, return, other leg, 2, push, in, return. And we're going to work slightly slower here. Strong exhale, push the arm, follow through with the shoulder blade right at the end. So then we get a little bit of a twist into the thorax. Exhale, push. Keep your weight into your front heel. Feel the work in your lead glute. keeping your tummy connected. Really power through. So actually muscling up with this one. Got no momentum happening. I have to admit, I've kind of lost count. All right. Okay. So I'm actually just going to unhook those now. And I'm going to pop my lighter bands on. Still popping them on the ankle straps, because that's going to give me more resistance. So if you remember, we're low, take a quarter step, open the arm up, and a little asterisk pattern. Come back in, stay low. Quarter step. That's 1 repetition. Coming in for 2. Keep this arm in front of you. Keep the thumb reaching up towards the sky or ceiling. If your thighs are starting to really feel the burn, of course you can stand up in between and then come down into a quarter turn. It's important here that we do keep our hands in front of us so that we don't have excess strain on the front of the shoulder. 1 more set. Keep a nice slow breathing rate. Great. All right. Swapping the bands over again. And then we're going to come back into the lunge and push. This time, however, I'm going to travel this. So, still moving in a linear fashion. So I'm going to take a lunge forwards. 1. Coming up, lunge. 2. Coming up, lunge. 3. 4. 5. 6. Good. I'm actually going to take this backwards now. So you can either spin around or take a backward step, still pushing forwards. Again, nice and slow. Feel the lowering weight into that front hip. Good. And that's your second set. I'm going to swap bands over again, or swap your resistance. If you want to, just showing you a variation, you can have this on your leg straps also. This will make it a little bit easier because then there's less distance and tension on the bands. So I'm low, quarter step, up, asterisk pattern, coming in, quarter step, up, drawing a little asterisk, coming in, quarter step. I can maybe take my asterisk a bit higher now actually, just because the band's feeling so much lighter. You might want to draw a little figure of 8, and this kind of work activates the stability muscles of the shoulder quite nicely, which is your rotator cuff. Coming back in, let's do our last one together. Well done. Those are your first 2 sets. If you want to pause here and do a 3rd set, you can. If not, I'll see you on the next 2 exercises. Okay, for our next 2 exercises, we're starting again with the linear. So we're going to come into a squat, come up, bicep curl. So we're going to do 2 bicep curls, but keep moving our feet around. So the feet are going to go neutral, narrow, wide, offset, offset. Nice and slow again. And remember, when we squat, we're going to put our weight back towards the heels and fold cleanly into the hips with a long spine. Off we go. Sitting down. Second squat. Bicep. Take your feet close. Bend. And your squat, you sort of want your hands maybe coming towards the knees. Coming wide. Slow bicep. Good. Now we're going to come back to shoulder width. Take a right step forwards. Keep pushing out against your leg bands to keep the side of the hips engaged. Good. Back to center. And we're just going to have a slow 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Okay, I'm going to pop these same bands onto my leg straps for the next exercise. Now, just remember, when you do your squat, although we're pushing against the leg bands, we still want to see the shins tracking forwards over the feet. And when you squat and push out, you don't want to see this position with weight on the outside portion of the foot. All right, this next exercise, we're going to be doing a push-up. That was a pull previously, so we're going to do a push-up, and then we're going to have a big rotation around into a side plank. So, I've actually got my hands on top of the handles here. I've also just crossed my band over as well. So I'm going to come down for 1, come up, rotate, press, rotate, press. Then I'm going to do 2. 1, 2, rotate, press, rotate, press. Then coming into 3. 1, 2, 3. Rotate, press, rotate, press. Then see if we can do 4 to finish this one off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rotate, press, rotate, press. Okay. If you want to, obviously you can do that with your knees on the floor. Maybe pop up onto your feet for the twist. So it would look like this. Lower, extend, twist as you come up. All right, let's come back and look at set 2, which was our squat and bicep curl. I'm just going to pop my bands back again. And remember, we had that slight footprint movement, so I'm going to do it from front on this time. So we have slow squat, slow bicep, 2. Then we're going to come narrow, bend, up, bend, up, nice and wide. Again, trying to think of even weight through the feet and a little bit back towards the heels. We're going to stay wide this time as we do our offset. Keep focusing on a long spine and feel your center activate as you pull, keeping them wide and offset. Up, up, good. Then we're going to come back to neutral and finish off with 5 again. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. All right, we'll come back and we'll look at our second set of push-ups. I'm just going to grab a towel to pop under my knees. Okay, so remember, we're going to swap the band over and pop it back on the leg bands. If you don't like leaning on this handle and it's awkward, you can literally put it down on the floor next to you. So we would then have push up, 1, twist, push up, grab the band, and if you put the bands down on the diagonal, twist. Then we came into 2 push-ups, 1, 2, grab, twist, 1, 2, grab, twist. Then we came to 3, 1, 2, 3, grab the band, twist, and down again, 1, 2, 3, grab, twist. Good. Now that time through, I'm just going to leave it at 3. You don't really need to go much past 4 as you go through this very small pyramid up, and then a nice big reach high with the band rotating through the whole body and pivoting on your feet. These are our final 2 exercises of this short series. The first one is loaded linear again, so we're going to be taking a forward kneel into a low hover lunge with an overhead press. For the first set, I've got the bands on my leg straps and I'm using my lighter band again. I'm going to hook in my thumb webbing here, starting sitting back on my heels with my toes tucked underneath. We're going to take a step forwards, bring the arm in. As it pushes overhead, hover, down, out. Come in, hover, down, out. Come in, hover, down, out. Last one, in, hover, down, out. So we want to see a good transfer of weight. So on this other side, arms starting wide, in, hover, down, out. And just note the arm stays elevated here in a 90-90, almost like a cactus arm position. Good. We're then going to swap the arm position around and reach up 2, 3, 4, you can come up into kneeling, 2, 3, and 4. Ooh, well done. We then move on to our loaded movement section. So this is always going to have a bit more 3D element to it. We're going to pop one strap down. I actually might use the blue one for this. Get a little bit more power because it's a twisting motion. And it's going to go back on my ankle strap. This leg will stay planted. This leg comes forwards, to the side, and backwards. So if I was on a compass, I would be going northeast, east, southeast. Nice and dynamic. The hands are going to come into the band here and they're going to do a chopping motion. We're going to chop low, chop at sort of belly height or chest height, and then chop to shoulder height. So are we ready? First one, low, come back, side, round the corner, low, side, round the corner. And this foot, the heel can lift as it helps and follows with the rotation motion. Last time through, to the side. Great. Let's pop onto the other side now. So just clipping the band over, hand in, other one on top. So this time we're going northwest, west, southwest, allowing this foot to pivot, whole body rotates. Off we go. To the side, to the back, Good. Northwest, west, southwest, northwest, west, southwest. Last one through. Northwest, west, southwest. There we go. Set one. We're going to then come around and back into our more linear exercise, which was from kneeling, and I'll give you a slight variation. I'm going to actually pop the straps now on both of my ankle straps. It's a little rough here in the park today, so I'm just going to have something under my knees. So remember, the arms were starting here in this cactus position. Off we go. Step in, hover, return, in, forward, hover, return, in, up, down, return, in, up, down, return. You should really feel this in the legs as well. So this is 6 we're doing this time. Good. Swapping straight over. In, up, down, keep it here. Keep it here. Really transfer your weight forwards onto the front leg. You'll find your back thigh works a lot more with this variation, as the leg needs to counter the tension from the strap. And then here, 1, 2, 3, if you want to, sitting 4, 5, hold there 6, and slowly lower. Well done. Okay, so there's our second set through of the loaded movement. So this was the compass step with a chopping motion. I'm actually going to show you how you can do it on your leg strap as well. So again, using a blue, this will feel a little bit lighter because I'm further away from the tether. So hands in, lunge, rotate, lunge, rotate, lunge, rotate, forward, side, back, forward, side, back. Last time. So we're doing 4 threes. Now I'm going to pop this back on my ankle again, so that I can get a little bit more grunt for my final set. Off we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Good, really pull from the shoulders. Shoulders into the waist. Waist into the hips. Hips into the feet. Ooh, there we go. Well done. Once again, if you want to go through and do a third set of these, you can do. And remember, you can keep increasing the color band, going from red to green, green to blue, and you can even double up on these as well if you want to for extra strength. So don't forget, you want to work on some nice slow breathing to calm your heart rate, calm your breathing. You might even want to repeat what we did at the beginning, but with a nice slow motion. Exhaling, coming up, palms in, inhaling. Exhaling, arms turning in, really allowing the back to open, and coming back up. And then still got my leg straps on, it's all good. We came into a step and a reach, step and a reach. If you want to, you can pause, have a little bit more opening into your system. And then we had final finish, coming back into the corners. And that was a unloaded movement into 3D. Okay, hope you enjoyed this session with your ultimate kit, and I'll see you for our last session. Bye.